That's why that's like that. Hi, everybody. You can't see the cameras because I minimized them, but I think hopefully through movie magic you can see them. Nope, you can't.
Wait, no, over there.
Nope,
It
it
was
broke.
there.
It broke. Awesome. Hold on, everybody. We'll be right back.
After these messages.
Just
Hello, and welcome to the Black Dice Society, episode 16, The Deep Breath. And you know what? I'm going to turn my audio up a little bit for you guys, so I apologize if I deafen anyone. I've been told I'm quiet for some people, so now I should be a little louder. You all emerge from the mists with your revelation of the true nature of your companion, Stewart, and how he came to be in his previous state. And you find a moment where Uriah, Nahara, and Finn are sort of off to yourselves. You original citizens of Ravenloft have a moment to check in with each other.
I'm sorry about the vomit earlier. I could almost taste that brain that I ate, that it ate. I'm not sure.
You got a little.
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah.
Is everything all right?
no.
What on earth was that?
I don't think that was Earth or any plane we know of.
No, it was the past as well. I think. I believe we saw how Stewart came to be. He was not remotely human, not undead, yes, but an undead thing.
And I don't know if he could hear me, but I thought that I had gotten rid of him and he's here.
Yes,
So,
yes. We all saw you quite forcefully attacked his casing jar and shattered it, and the liquid drained out, and he was just a husk, really. But now he seems to be fine, and so does his domicile.
he might be a little cross with me.
A little.
Yes.
You murdered him.
I thought he was attacking Desmond.
I know. He wasn't. For
Well,
once.
yes.
Why
Yes,
were we?
I don't know. And it was clearly the past, but it doesn't explain Stewart being whole again.
No, that isn't explicable at all. The thing is, perhaps if he can't be killed, then he won't bear a grudge for killing him. There's that. There's also the fact that we now know his true nature. I'm not sure if we can appeal to his humanity if he's not even remotely human.
Well, even if he was human at some point, or now that we know he was a mind flayer.
Yes, that was the word. Mind flayer.
Or I think scholars use the word illithid.
Yes, both of those words. I hadn't really heard them before, but now, having had my thoughts entwined with that thing.
It made me feel unclean.
Was it?
And I...
How is it that we were even able to experience that?
I don't know. I don't know at all, but that's the funny thing.
The dreams?
Yes, but I'm not sure if you all had the same experience, but the thing whose eyes I was looking through seemed to be aware of me as well.
Yes.
Yes.
If we were just watching a pantomime of the past, then how could that be so?
Exactly.
Maybe that's our future if we fail.
Yes, but Stewart, that was his origin story, I suppose. And as you say, this does not explain why he is, well, I won't say hale and hearty, but why he still exists.
I don't. And as far as I know, I've always been a Dhampir, so it doesn't make sense that would be anyone's past, except for Stewart's.
But how were we even able to see through someone else's, if it was someone else's? It's all very confusing.
It wasn't just like watching something either. I could feel sensations and thoughts and
taste.
Yes, when it killed that poor person, I tried to stop it, but it was like I didn't want to. I think the part of me that was it just wanted to feed.
That's all I wanted either.
Nahara, you get a very faint tickling sensation of that odd multi-legged weasel clinging to your arm and purring. Just for a second.
I still look to my arm to see if it's there.
Nothing's there.
Are you all right?
It's strange. I just feel like parts of me still feels like I'm there.
Yes, it's hard to shake.
I feel...
Oh, Valentine.
Yes, I know she suffered a terrible tragedy, but I had no idea. Not at all.
I wonder if she's all right. Where are the others?
I don't know.
Brother Uriah. Oh, sorry. Please continue, Nahara.
I can just say that it must not be easy. I know what it's like to have seen yourself. So I hope she's all right.
Yes. I mean, she did exact vengeance. Though something tells me men of that ilk would not hatch such a plan on their own. There might have been someone behind it all that she still seeks. I don't know if broaching the subject with her would upset her.
We can only ask. Well, at least hopefully we'll be together again.
Brother Uriah, give me a medicine check.
Sorry. I'm afraid only a 7. So that is in fact a critical fail.
Brother Uriah, as you are looking at Nahara and Finn here, a grim realization comes over you. When you were the scientist Alithid, and you were harvesting the various components that the rogue Alithid had put into its slaves, you realized there were components both where they'd had literally their heads detached and those odd plates put there instead, but you also notice inside of them there were different artificial parts that had been added, strange components, odd cylinders, and you can't help but feel the strangest sensation in one of your arms. And with that, hello and welcome to the Black Dice Society, episode 16, The Deep Breath. As always, this is a Ravenloft game, which means it is a horror game, including things like body horror and things of that nature that may not come up in other D&D campaigns. As always, I have discussed with the cast their own lines and veils. We have a safety system in place where they can message me if something is making them uncomfortable. So if we ever end a scene abruptly, possibly even mid-sentence, that is why. But you can consider this your content warning. And with this firmly in mind, let us meet our cast, including these wonderful humans that we have already met, starting with Finn.
Hello, I'm Finn, Cypher-Tier. I'm your drow dumpier blood hunter with a little bit of beast on the side. And pronouns are she, her.
And Nahara.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nora Ibrahim. You can find me at Norological on the things. And I play Nahara, a reborn, fallen Azamar, undead Bardluck.
Brother Uriah.
Hello, I'm Mark Meir. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Brother Uriah Macabre, Cleric of the Grave and Worshipper of Ezra, Lady of the Mists.
Desmond.
Oh, hi. I'm DJ Knight. I play Desmond, a human ranger, a little bit of a lycanthrope. My and his pronouns are he, him.
Tatiana.
Hello, I'm Becca Scott. You can find me on the internet at the Becca Scott. Want to shout out, you can find B Dave and I tomorrow and the following day hosting D&D live for G4. But here I play Tatiana, Ergenazi Barbarian, and I follow Path of Bear Totem.
And last, but certainly not least, the completely normal and absolutely exactly what she appears to be, Valentine.
Hi, I'm Sage Ryan, and all of that is deeply correct about both Valentine and myself. I go by Not Sage everywhere on the internet. Tonight, I am an aberrant mind sorcerer who, as you saw last week, became a reborn, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Excellent.
Violently became a reborn.
I did forget my pronouns are she, her, as well as my characters.
Yes.
Forgot that.
Violently reborn is an accurate description.
Yes, reborn into the world, screaming and hurting people.
Again, as one does. As one does. Before we begin, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Die Hard Dice. Custom sets for each of our wonderful characters were available and then weren't available and then were available. So honestly, I'm not quite sure right now, but we definitely have the general Black Dice Society dice palette is still available there. And either way, you can use code BDS to get 10% off of our sets and every other amazing dope thing on dieharddice.com. Again, our TeePublic store is live. Shirts, bags, masks, mugs, pillows, anything you want. Again, Becca got to see me rocking my mask where I've got Becca's mug on my mug while we're doing D&D Live. You can see that. The link's there in chat. Secret Lab chairs. They just announced a new one this week, actually. So a whole new chair that is even a higher model of this one that I got. I use a Secret Lab XL. I love it. If you're in the market for a chair that is like riding around in the couch, highly recommended. Of course, we have our link there, our affiliate link. If you're thinking about getting one, maybe use our link. Idle Champions, we have the code that is appearing in chat right now from Exclam Code. Once again, thank you to Beetle and Grim. I have to not pull something, lifting this huge chunky thing for our special edition Van Richten's guides. If you see us deploying a lot of props, they come from our Beetle and Grimm's Curse of Strahd boxes and these Van Richten guides. They're absolutely incredible. They are available now. And not last, nope, it's never last. We have our gorgeous museum quality Black Dice Society art prints are still available. Limited run. A portion of every one of these is going to world builders to help in global poverty there. So you can have an incredible piece of swag. Our art by Adam Schubert that you can hang on your wall for all time and help some people in the process. Now, last but certainly not least, we have a Patreon. You can get early access to our podcast, our exclusive weekly after show, our character side adventures. We have one set to record on Monday, so that'll go up on Monday or Tuesday. I also just posted a new DM tips where I explain my process of getting ready for the charity game that we just did on Wednesday, where we were able to raise over $16,000 for Waiver Rape Crisis Center, and also how I planned out tomorrow's game, the Palace of the Vampire Queen. So no spoilers, but if you want to know what I literally did to get ready for these major events, it's up on the Patreon right now, patreon.com/the Black Dice Society. And one other thing, I won't say last but not least, because I think I've said last but not least about 3 times now. One other thing, please like, comment, share, tell your friends. It really does make a difference. It really does help us. It really does affect the algorithm, and we really do appreciate it. And with that being said, on with our show. The familiar sights and sounds of the carnival greet you all as you stumble out of the mist. Despite your detour through whatever that was, you were all still very much beaten, bruised, and in some cases grievously injured from your experiences in Forlorn. The first indication that you've got that you've returned to your real life and to your normal consciousness is, quite frankly, the pain and exhaustion that wrecks through your body, reminding you that you're alive. And now you all stand here in a clearing just on the edge of the mist, with your newly restored but oddly quiet Stewart there, having made his declaration that he and the others serve Valentine and saying nothing else. And you are all here alone as the sounds of games, carnivals, cheering people, Eramos's deep, bassy laughter echoing around.
We'll find Isolde and see if she knows anything about these creatures we were for a while and get us all patched up.
Patching up sounds nice.
Maybe she can tell me if I'm a bad person because I ate the whole brain.
Don't tell her you ate a brain. She'll kill you.
No, that it wasn't us. It was other beings that I think we were occupying the same mind as. It's all so strange.
Okay, but that sounds like if it's in my brain, that it's me.
But it wasn't your body, was it?
Okay, well, now we're just mincing words. I mean, if I had your body, but I went around eating brains, I would still be eating brains.
Yes, but I didn't feel like I had any control over what was happening. Did you?
Right. No.
I'm just going to take Tatiana's hand. I know better than most that we do not have control over the things that occupy our mind. There are more external forces in this universe than we could ever possibly understand. You didn't do it, and it's not your fault. Something is happening here, as something is always happening here. So unless you start getting a craving for a brain again, I think you're okay.
I would just throw it out there that I don't know about any of you, but I've held in the pen. And eating a brain, whether or not we did it, whether or not we can be sure it was us or not, seems very much like a justice situation. So we may not want to mention it. Just throw it out there.
I can just tell you that if you tell Isolde you ate brains and enjoyed it, Nepenthe will come to greet you personally and you won't like it.
Understood. Okay.
Probably
Ixnay on
best.
the brain, A.
Probably best that we keep this to ourselves, and unless we really trust someone, because until we understand why it's happening, I just don't want to put ourselves in more danger.
I think it was a vision. I think we were meant to see what we saw, including perhaps secrets that a companion did not necessarily wish divulged. Valentine, I'm so sorry for everything that's happened.
Thank you, Brother Uriah. What's done is done.
Are you all right?
Yes.
It's hard to see something like that.
I'm okay. Yes, And Valentine just kind of starts like backing out of the group a little bit. What's done is done.
Give her space. We're all exhausted and beaten and bruised, and we have our brain back. Let's find Isolde, and maybe she can help us make sense of what happened. I want to rinse the taste of brains out of my mouth.
As we walk, I want to go up next to Valentine. You know, maybe what's done is not done. We could make changes when we were there, right? Who's to say we can't change all of it?
I don't think that we can undo the past, Tatiana.
If we pass a wall, Tatiana punches it.
I'm sorry.
One moment of weakness. I was so stupid.
No. Tatiana, they would have found another way. They were going to do what they did. The only thing of that wasn't supposed to happen was me still being here now.
I know I've pledged to you before, but that was the last time that I abandoned you, Valentine.
Well, fortunately for me, I think you're stuck with me at the moment.
It's lucky for me.
I'm sorry. I know that they were as much your family as mine.
Well, now we have a new family. And I gesture to our friends walking towards Isolde's tent.
Can I, and I'm just going to reach for Stewart off of the kind of satchel she carries him in. Would you mind if I took Stewart for a moment?
Point of clarification, we have Stewart again?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That's right.
He's back together, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That happened at the very end, I remember now. Of course. Just be careful. It's very breakable glass.
Well, it would appear one has to work hard to shatter it, but there are many who are willing.
The moment... Oh, yes, go ahead.
Oh, just I side-eye Nahara.
The moment you touch the container, Valentine, you hear in your mind, "May I have permission to speak with you directly?"
Please.
You get the strangest sensation, Valentine, more akin to that just intrinsic knowing that you experience when you were a mind flayer. Again, to say they talk to one another is a misnomer. They just immediately share information. And you get from him anger. You get from him resolve that he will do better this time. And a not insignificant amount of relief.
Relief.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
I do not require gratitude to serve, but it is acknowledged and appreciated.
If you could bring me back, why not my mother?
It was not I who brought you back. You were seen. You were chosen. But as you know, there are ways.
So if I were to find someone, maybe here in the mists, who could be like me, should be like me, could you bring them back? Could they be chosen?
I cannot begin to speak for the god brain, but it may be blasphemous to speak out loud. There are other ways. In Valentine, you get a glimpse of that apparatus again, a strange, towering lattice work of glass and machinery and electricity, and it's gone just as quickly.
Okay. I understand.
There are 4 more of the specimens. You've seen them. They usually are near you. While they wait, do you have commands for them?
I can ask them to just do my bidding.
Yes, as long as your bidding is not in conflict with the will of the god brain.
I want to find Strahd. Stradvan Zarovich. I want to find a way there, and I want to be taken there.
It will be so.
And I'll kind of go back to catch up with the group.
And he stops talking. As you all make your way through, Valentine, give me a perception check. You can do so with advantage.
Good thing I had advantage because the first one was a natural 1, but the second one was only a 12.
We're getting those out of our system early.
Yep.
You notice Brother Uriah is sort of flexing his hand repeatedly and looking at his arm.
What's wrong with you?
I might be overreacting, but I think I'm going to need access to the Carnival's medical tent. I may have to perform some impromptu surgery on myself.
Surgery for what?
I think there's something inside me, some foreign, something that was put there. I just want to be sure. Yes, but well, did you see a bump here? Is there a bump? Is there a bit of a bump?
Can I see a bump?
Give me another perception check, but this one without advantage.
Question: can the rest of us see this, or are they all
yes.
themselves?
Yes, you're all, abreast. Yeah, this is an exchange you're all aware of, yes. Mm-hmm.
So 11.
Brother Uriah, you tell me, again, I think we've established that he's not necessarily a man of fisticuffs. Is his body relatively pristine, or does he bear the bruises and scars of labor that almost everyone has in an agrarian society?
I would say the latter, because he did not grow up wealthy at all. His father was a scholar, but he probably had to help out and probably had childhood injuries. That said, bit of a bookworm. So, yeah, he is very slender as well. So, yeah, I'd say it's more his nose has been broken a few times by bullies.
I mean, his body is by no means the tapestry of violence that Desmond and Tatiana are. But there's a mark, maybe. Maybe a dog bit him. I don't know. Valentine.
Sure. Maybe we get a little rest before we start cutting into our own bodies.
I don't think I'll be able to sleep unless I check this out first. It's quite all right. I do have surgical tools, and of course I have my healing abilities, so there'll be no danger of infection.
Fenn overhears this.
Yeah, yes, Finn does
Go
over
ahead,
here.
Finn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she actually reaches out and reaches for Uriah's arm. May I?
Yes, of course. Do you see it?
And I actually want to run my hand over and see if I feel anything, or
you can give me give me medicine with you can give it with advantage. In Desmond, give me survival, which you can give with advantage.
Okay.
Medicine. All right. Let us hope that I'm better at medicine than other things.
16.
16.
19.
19. Perfect. Desmond, it takes you a second to sort of recalibrate to the sense of the carnival, the cooking of meat, the drinking of ale, all of the human bodily functions that come along with too much ale. But after a second, you realize you're in the carnival, but the carnival's not in the same place. It's a little cooler now, and just the scent on the breeze isn't the same. The carnival is no longer in Falkovnia. Know where you've been so far. Finn.
The second
yes. No, please, yes.
No, the second Desmond smells the breeze, he just looks at Finn and just, we're not in the same place.
No, the carnival moves.
Yeah, I can tell. Where are we?
I don't know yet. I know Isolde was planning to pull up stakes the last time we were here, but I'm not sure where here is yet.
I wonder if that's why we went to a different place.
Likely.
Before I tell you what happened, Nahara, you were saying something also.
Yes, do we get a sense that whatever happened to Uriah is some sort of magical thing or occurrence, or is it?
You could give me Arcana, unless you have Detect Magic.
Well, what I would like to do is I would like to touch his arm and cast Identify, but I don't know that it is a magical thing yet.
Well, then give me Arcana first. Finn, is your sort of, yeah, kind of. I mean, there's a little lump. I mean, you probably wouldn't have thought too much about it until he points it out to you.
Don't you see? The thing that I was inside, it was a scientist, a technician. They were examining those implants, and that got me thinking. And now I think I've got one of them inside of me.
There is something there.
Yes. Might I get your assistance?
Of course.
I might need everyone's assistance. Perhaps someone with healing abilities.
Yes, I'm not good at healing.
I could do the cutting, but not the healing.
I don't want quite as much cutting as you usually do, Tatiana. If that's all right.
Besides, I can cut, and we do have medics at the Carnival.
Yes.
What was that Arcana, Nahara?
It was a 17. And go ahead.
It isn't so much that you know whether or not anything is going on with him is magical, but the memories of being an Illithid come back to you, and there definitely is a techno-magical component to the things they were doing there. It wasn't just pure technology.
Uriah, may I take a look?
Yes, of course, Nahara.
And taking his forearm, I take out a little owl feather out of my pocket, and I will cast Identify.
As you begin to probe around a little bit, you think whatever it is has got to come out before you can identify it. Because it just feels like arm initially as you're touching it.
Oh, goodness. Uriah, please don't be alarmed. But I do think you're right in that this has to come out, but
yes,
whatever it is in there. But once it does, I would like to also take a look at that, if that's all right.
Oh, yes, of course. We must examine it as swiftly as possible. And I would like it out of me, please.
I'll do anything I can to help you, including afterwards healing your wounds. But
yes,
I think we need to move quickly.
Perhaps if you can do that once Fen has made the incision. As mentioned, I have surgical tools, and I'm sure she can use those with some accuracy.
Yes, of course. But I do think we need to move quickly.
Yes, with all speed.
Let's go to the medical tent.
As you all are heading to the medical tent, the doctor on duty is Crag, a orc, formerly warrior who learned his craft on the battlefield. Finn, you know he is incredibly capable as a triage medic. You can he definitely will save you from getting an infection or something of that like. You probably would not let him deliver a baby, for instance. And as you all walk up, he is standing there with a very large horn of ale. Like, who requires medical attention?
Actually, hello, sir. Actually, it's a fellow medical practitioner. I'm just wondering, and guests of the carnival, we were just wondering if it might be possible to use your facilities briefly.
The medical tent is not a luxury tent for carousing and drinking. We have those. I get for you. It's fine. I need to keep everything very sterile and pristine. And he immediately knocks over one of the beds that is set up and just like wipes the dust off the top of it and stands it back up again. Like, yes, good as new.
Yes. This actually was for a medical matter. My companions and I just need to use perhaps an operating table, if you have such a thing. As mentioned, I am a doctor. I am the doctor, and these are my companions. Yes.
You were
and no need to disrupt your celebration. We really don't want him operating on your arm.
I'm going to do it.
Tatiana, I think
Let
you were
me
about
handle.
to say something.
Where are you from?
Stone Bear Mountains, far from here. It's a look, and he pulls his toga to the side, and you can see a scar, Tatiana, that you immediately know should have killed him. It is massive, and he's like, yeah.
I rip open my shirt and I show him the bear totem on my stomach. I got one just like Freya.
Yeah. And he like very much like gives you a hug for a second. He's like, for you, I give you good stuff. He's medicinal. He's supposed to be used only for cleaning wound, but better for drinking, I think. And he goes and like pulls open a cabinet and pulls out a white carafe of an alcohol that stings your eyes from a foot away, Tatiana. And goes, yeah, it's good.
That's good. I take a swig.
While they're doing that, I like usher Uriah and Nahara past the shenaniganry and to the back for a cot.
And I just distract him more with, this way, tell me more of Bear Mountain.
Give me two things, Tatiana. First, give me a con save.
I rolled a 2.
Oh,
I think
no.
that makes it like a 6.
So, Tatiana, immediately you're like, tell me more about...
It's a 7.
Tell me more about Bua and Valentine. You see Tatiana goes completely spaghetti-legged immediately from whatever this is he just gave her.
What did you do?
I said a drink
Me?
with
What did I?
warrior.
Go to him.
Yeah. Is it you want to?
And I'm gonna like do my best to like offer a hand to keep Tatiana up, but like it's a little half-hearted because she's so much larger than I am.
You make a good leaning stand on your head.
Hey, you also fighting man. He points at you, Desmond. I know look a fighting man. Here, you drink too. You earn, you warrior. Wait. Show scars. You must have proper scar.
Always. Do I need to show them to drink?
I think he's embarrassed of Scar, Blue Woman. He's not proud like we proud of what we got. Huh?
And Desmond just pulls out a flask and just, okay.
No, Desmond, he has scars. Of
it's
course,
a-
he has great scars.
And he just grabs the nape of his shirt and just pulls down and just shows his pec, his left pec, just massive scar from being attacked by an animal. Just, are you happy now?
And he very much like just kind of pushes this this carafe of liquid towards the center of your chest as well.
And obviously, Desmond drinks it because
Give me con save.
Carnival. And this is a drink.
Is anyone else concerned that somebody has approached us and tried to incapacitate the largest and potentially, in their eyes, most dangerous members of our party?
Well, to be fair, we approached him.
Not for booze.
You hold it together, Desmond, but I mean it's fire water. I mean it's 190 proof. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough.
Just okay. That's strong, and I drink a lot.
Yes. when you get to the point that this doesn't help anymore, you got to stop and become a priest or something, I think. What are they doing to his arm? Finn, give me a medicine check, please. And you can roll with advantage, because presumably Uriah is trying to help her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Nat 20.
Hey. You tell me what it looks like when Finn does this. Because presumably Brother Uriah is very nervous.
Yeah, actually...
go ahead.
Just in preparation, while all the drinking stuff was going on, Brother Uriah sort of very expertly took out his medical bag, sort of, it's sort of like a rolled up thing of leather, and he unrolls it, you see all the tools. He pulled out a small wooden stick and bit down on it, and you realized there's like teeth marks in it, and this is what it's actually for. And then he slammed his hand on the arm on the table, gave you one of the scalpels, sort of pointed to where it was, and gave you like forceps as well if you need those, and is just currently, while Fenn is getting ready, he's just biting down on the stick and closing his eyes.
20 is, of course, fantastic success. So, yeah, tell me what it looks like, Fenn.
So Fenn actually is talking to him in a low voice as she works to keep him calm. Oh, you're right. I saved your life 20 years ago. I'm not going to kill you now. Relax. And I like do all the things they do, like when you're in the doctor's office, like rub the arm, clean it off. Mm-hmm. And very gently cut over where I feel the lump.
Mm-hmm.
And so quick out of character, do I have claws when I'm not engaged in beast form or no?
I mean, I would say...
Or would there be forceps?
Yeah, you've got forceps for sure.
Okay, then I use the forceps and very gently pull this out. I put it on whatever clean linen or tray. And then I actually stitch up Brother Uriah very gently. And I don't do the thing that I think would unnerve him because I'm trying to distract him from his freaking out. But I clean off his arm and I pat his arm and I'm like, you're done.
Thank you. Thank you, Finn.
Very much was holding Brother Uriah's other hand the whole time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
You're going to be all right.
Yes. Now, I didn't actually lose any hit points from this incision, did I?
No. In fact,
if I did,
with a natural 20, it was so clean and precise, you didn't even know she'd started. Does Finn do anything else?
I
didn't even need my bitey stick.
No, I am a professional, Uriah.
Thank you.
And I was even nice and didn't lick the blood off.
I appreciate your restraint.
I am hungry, though.
I could probably get you some. Yeah? All right.
Meanwhile,
we're going to find out what this is.
You do pull an object out that is about 3 inches long. It is silvery gray and very foreign. With that medicine check, I will give to you, Finn. There was a lot of built-up scar tissue around it. It's been in there a very long time, possibly 20 years.
Since I would have rescued him.
Around a comparable time, yes.
Uriah, when I saved you as a boy, did anything attack you? Did anything get you?
No, just that horrible thing that made itself look like a child.
Did it grab your hand? Did it do anything to you?
I cast my mind back. Do I recall it making physical contact with me?
No, she just tried to, convince you to come out into the forest because she needed a champion to help her get her candy back.
No, I never came into direct contact with it. I suspect if I had, it would have devoured me on the spot.
And I hold the thing up before I offer to Nahara. This has been in your arm all that time. How did you not feel it all this time?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
The whole area is just scarred, as if it's just healed around it.
Yes, very odd. There's another question, I suppose. When we were in the minds of those things, where were our bodies? Did it all happen in an instant for us as we visited the past and returned to ourselves without a second having gone by? But I don't understand.
Or were our bodies in some kind of... I wonder if it's like when you died, Nahara, and our bodies were just in stasis.
It's possible. I don't know what to believe anymore with everything that's been happening.
Can your abilities tell what this thing is? You were going to try to cast a spell earlier, yes?
I can try. And just take a look at it. I take this little device from Fen, and I will cast Identify on it.
Perfect. I'm looking up Identify to give exactly what you can learn. However, meanwhile...
Yeah, it'll...
Valentine. This towering, boisterous orc, Crag, after sort of kind of slapping Tatiana on the shoulder as she's a little spaghetti-legged and admiring Desmond's fortitude as again, Desmond, you're on your feet, but it's whew. He slowly looks at you, Valentine, and he kind of sits down. It's like an avalanche falling onto one of these other cots here. Nahara and Finn are with Brother Uriah. And he's still holding on to this vial, or this carafe, basically, of this material. And he leans forward a little bit and he says, "You, I see, have the deepest scars. Although you're not much of a drinker, I think, huh?"
I'm not. A scar does not make a warrior. A scar only means that you've been endangered.
It's true. It means death came for you and you refused to accept.
Sometimes people refuse on your behalf.
Is that what happened to you? 'Cause I do not mean to be rude, but despite all appearances, I really am physician. And you are not breathing and barely blinking, and that beautifully hidden scar should have killed an elephant, and yet you stand before me. How?
I feel like as a doctor in the mists, you'd have seen something more confusing before me. But yes, death came for me, and in one way or another, it was turned away.
That makes you every bit warrior as anyone, then, I think.
Thank you. But are you able to, if you're able to identify what might be going on here, you offered to help Brother Uriah. Can you tell the way that my scar, can you tell the way that it was healed?
Might I have your permission to inspect?
I'm just gonna unclasp my pearls and let him take a look at the scar across her throat.
This would be the first time, Tatiana presumably has probably seen this, but I think it'd be the first time Desmond has seen it clearly. What does your scar look like?
It is from essentially ear to ear on either side. You can tell by the texture of it that it was deep. It has kind of like ridges on both sides of it, that now currently are typically perfectly covered by the choker that she wears. But it's taken to more of like a soft, pale, grayed tone that her skin is. It doesn't have much discoloration around it at all. It is really just the wound itself.
Tatiana turns away and takes a deeper swig of this vile liquid because that is the physical manifestation of my shame.
Desmond, give me a perception check, if you would.
I want to know that if I was able to heal this, to fix this somehow, I want to know how to do it again.
17.
Desmond, you notice as he leans forward and he kind of like very gingerly it is like a new person is before you, that he was so loud and boisterous and big and everything. But now that he's doing this, he is being very careful in touching and inspecting. But you see, he does look at Tatiana, and you're 100% sure he clocked that reaction from her. He didn't say anything, but you know he knows. He's like, he's very mysterious. He's more like not healed. He's more like grown, like you were born like this. Fascinating, if you don't mind me saying. The work, the injury was precise and unflinching. But
yes,
this method of healing, I have seen its type before, but never in the living.
I feel like I'm getting hurt all the time, constantly. I've nearly died repeatedly in the last few weeks alone. She puts her choker of pearls back on. And quite simply, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of always dying. I've done it already. I'm over it. I want to heal like this again.
I do notice you all bear wounds of battle. Where did you come from before you entered Carnival? You're all cut up and burned and scratched. And he looks at you, Tatiana, saying, you are strong, yes, but I feel like something was taken from you. Some of your glow dulled, I think.
Never dulls. I'm always this blue. It's a very personal question that you ask. We don't need to answer. Don't answer him.
Apologies. Perhaps the drink has gone to my head. I do not mean to forget my place, but perhaps I can I help with the healing. Oh, you sit. All of you sit. I take care of you now. In Nahara, you are aware that this is some sort of listening device. It's difficult to describe because, of course, such a technological thing should not be, and yet that's essentially what you're aware of. It's a monitoring device.
I first cast message to Fen before Uriah. Fen, this thing.
Yes.
This thing is essentially something that can listen in on Brother Uriah. Somebody is listening.
Then destroy it.
Has been listening. If we destroy it, then they're aware, and maybe something worse will happen.
Well, if they can hear us, they can hear this conversation.
And they hear a message? Or can they just hear
Message
what is spoken out loud?
Message is like essentially like whispering in each other's ears.
Okay.
So, yeah. Theoretically,
Well,
it can't hear it.
in theory, everything's great. Well, they're going to notice when they don't get messages from Brother Uriah anymore either.
You're right.
They destroy it, or I give it to his souls.
What if... Ooh. Yes, what if we place it somewhere? What if we place it in an animal and it just runs about? And maybe they wouldn't know.
Or we could just throw it into the mist.
Oh, we could do that as well.
Or we could just stomp on it.
Right, well, let me tell Brother Uriah first, and then maybe we could all... I can't decide for him. But this is just very alarming.
Wait, maybe this would explain his visitor. If they're listening in and they hear him.
Maybe it's best not to tell him. And just be rid of it. Or tell
Maybe.
him afterwards.
Just that it's dangerous and we had to get rid of it for his well-being.
Right.
All of you, give me wisdom checks. Not saves, checks.
Including me and Nahara.
Mm-hmm. Everybody.
Oh, wisdom.
I did not do so well.
I don't trust the digital dice.
20, because this alcohol makes me see the
That
world
is-
as it is.
You know, sometimes
14.
the dice give us a gift because I was
15.
hoping that you would be the one to figure this out, Tatiana.
I also
Uh,
I got a natural 20.
Ooh!
Total
Yay,
of 24.
2 nat 20.
2 nat 20.
Good, because I got a 9. So somebody could fill me in.
I'm going to send both of you a message here of a real hold. Just wait 1 second there, Tatiana, where I give it to Brother Uriah as well. That is the realization that both of you come to.
Tatiana starts clawing furiously at her forearms.
Tatiana may have just jumped to the same conclusion I did. We all experienced that horrible vision. This was the sort of thing that those beings were using. I might not be the only one who has one of these.
Yes,
So it wasn't an animal?
the open.
An animal? What do you mean?
It wasn't a... There was like a ferret with many legs.
A
Wrapped
ferret?
around my arm.
What do you mean a ferret?
Scratching at me.
What?
Not now, but earlier.
I didn't see a ferret.
I thought I was imagining it. That's why I didn't mention it.
What?
As Uriah says what, I shove him off the table and throw myself down.
Oh, yes,
do
I'll immediately begin looking to see if Tatiana has any evidence of... I will have to perform a full examination. I hope that's all right. I am a medical professional.
Oh, I knew you'd been waiting to do this, Uriah.
I assure you I am not. I have not. And I'm completely professional about all matters regarding medicine.
I may... Okay, just do it.
All right.
Give me medicine with advantage.
Did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear.
So it's either a 14 or... 14.
14. It's much harder to figure out on Tatiana because, as we've said before, her body is a tapestry of violence. But you do eventually locate one. It takes you a few minutes. And you learn a shocking amount about what she's been through, honestly. She should have been dead many times over. But you do finally locate such a device. It is not on her arm. It is on her back, underneath that black rose that she was branded with. Do you extract it?
First, of course, I will inform Tatiana that I've found it and see what she would like for her. I'll present her with the alternatives, and my patient will make the decision.
Uriah, I thought you'd be the last one to stab me in back. Tatiana takes off her shirt and flops face down onto the medical table, and then takes one more swig of the alcohol. Do it.
All right.
I'll
I
just
suppose
stay near her.
you won't be wanting the bitey stick?
Do I look like I need a bitey stick?
You probably don't. You probably don't need the bitey stick. All right. Now then, I'm not sure what the consequences might be of actually disturbing the skin that this brand is on. They might be dire. I'm going to attempt to go in from the side. I'll essentially make an incision along the side of the brand and then sort of use the forceps to reach in, if that's all right.
Wait, I do need a bitey stick.
Okay.
Uriah, cut off the brand.
What?
Cut it off. The whole thing.
Look, I'm going to level with you. This sort of supernatural thing seems to me to be the kind of thing that will come back anyway, and then you'll also be missing some skin.
Well, if it's just regrown skin anyway.
All right, we will...
We'll try it once, but then not a second time.
All right,
Yeah, but before you proceed, can I just please say something? And I will say this to each individual person except for Fen, because she's obviously heard this already. Do not say anything out loud.
What?
This is a tracking, some sort of thing that can track you.
And listen.
Gods.
And listen to you.
Oh, I see. All right. Well, I'll be sure not to say anything out loud about that, but that is most disconcerting. Very... All right.
My message back, then it totally changes my feelings. Keep it in by all means.
But, really?
I'm kidding, Nahara.
Oh,
Thank you for the information.
I'm sorry. It's just that all intent is lost. It's when with these mental messages, it's hard to detect sarcasm.
And Tatiana is very drunk.
I'll message to Nahara, because I was messaged to each of us individually, right?
Yeah.
Wish we could start a group thread of these things.
Right.
Now, it seems it's just you, Tatiana, and Brother Uriah.
It may be all of us.
We haven't actually examined everyone.
We don't know.
But the fact that the first two people who were examined both had one of these, I don't think speaks well to our chances of that not being the case.
But do you feel something? You feel something from having it, right?
No, they were undetectable until perhaps the vision is what allowed me to detect it. But according to Fen, this may have been in my body for some time.
I'd like to try and just low key kind of feel around both mentally and physically.
Yes, but perhaps before we actually proceed, everyone should do the same.
Yeah.
Can I see that for a second?
The device?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't just ask for the device. Just tries to.
Give me survival and give me medicine for your. You can give me medicine with advantage, Brother Uriah, because presumably you're trying to be careful with Tatiana. Also, Valentine, give me medicine. Give me survival for your scent there. Desmond.
21.
Desmond, it smells like nothing. It doesn't even smell like Uriah. You would think if it spent 20 years in his arm, I mean, it should have at least sort of, for lack of a better word, been marinated in his scent. It's like if you're touching it, you can feel it. It exists, but it has no scent whatsoever.
And then I just look at everybody and just I hand it back first and then just lean in quietly and just I smell many a thing that has no smell at all. And it just spent some unknown amount of time in Brother Uriah's arm. It doesn't even smell like him. Whatever this is, I don't like it. at all.
Tatiana, when you call for the bitey stick, Craig just rolls up his sleeve and holds his arm out. He's like, you bite on arm if need to be. It's okay, I can take. Yeah.
It's a thick arm to bite.
It is like all naughty and thick, yeah, but you can get a
I'm
chunk
gonna
of
bite
it.
through this thing.
I got a 17 on my medicine.
Perfect. Okay, so couple things. Brother Uriah.
23 on with advantage on mine.
One, you make 2 grim discoveries. One, the greater grim discovery, arguably greater, is this brand on her back, as you surmised, goes down into her muscle tissue. That even it is far more than skin deep. It is not a tattoo. It is a brand. You suspect if you made it all the way down to her spine, it might even have darkened the bones of her. This black rose on her back. However, you are able to maneuver around it somewhat carefully and extract the device, and it is burned and broken by whatever power Soth marked her broke it.
That would mean that... Wait. That would mean that this was in your body when Soth branded you. This was when you were back in your own realm, in Koshmar.
And you see he's just drinking more of that liquid while you're biting his arm.
It's all right. I finished. I'll just sew you up here.
When you let
It's
go,
not the best time to talk to me about why or when. I can't remember my own name at this point.
It's all right. It was sort of for my own benefit, really. I just had to say it out loud. Who is next?
he does very much pour some of that liquid over it. Valentine, as you were probing around, you don't find anything. Not in your arms, at least.
Okay. I would like to contact Shregram. I haven't heard from Shregram in a minute.
Yes. Hi. Hello. What an eventful afternoon, right?
I don't want to talk about it.
You don't have to.
You exist partially inside my body.
Almost in totality, somewhat. Yes, my state, it's like I am no more in your body than the music is in the instrument, but also,
Please stop.
yes.
Most of my friends around here have found a strange device, seemingly for most of them in their arm. It appears that it can listen to them, that it's tracking them in some way.
Yes.
What do you mean, yes? You know this?
Of course.
What is it?
Well, they were marked some time
By
ago.
who?
Oh, I thought, given recent events, that would be obvious who the who is behind all of this. Like, there's only one who, Valentine.
This is from this is from you. This is from us.
Yes. Oh, you called it us. Yay.
That's why I don't have one.
That's why. And yes, they've all got them. Feel free to lie if you want to distract the holy man. Or you can come forward and say yes and then know where they can locate it. They're all somewhere different on each of them, but they've all got them. The hardest part, if we're being honest, was Desmond. We didn't have any experience with therianthropes, so we planted somewhere and he changed and it popped right out. It took a couple of shots at it before we finally nailed that down.
What happens if they remove them?
Normally, they would detonate and execute them, but for you and your friends, nothing. It's fine. We won't
Why
even
do they need
replace
to be
them if you
tracked?
don't want us to. Well,
No.
because it was not easy making sure everything worked out right to get them here.
Okay. Yes, I do not want them replaced, and I definitely do not want them detonated.
Ah. Would you like some sort of elaborate show, like, you've beaten us, so that they feel like they're safe?
Yes.
Excellent. I'll see what I can arrange.
Do not hurt them.
Wouldn't think of it. One strange question that I just have as an aside. Has it seemed to you like Tatiana has hit a stroke of bad luck? She seems to be accumulating curses in a way that seems statistically improbable.
Yes.
It's just an observation. It has. This was not our.
You have nothing
doing.
helpful to say on the matter. Understood. Yes, it does seem so. And I wonder if we could eliminate that strange partition in her brain, if she might have capacity to resist them a little better.
Maybe. Well, I, for one, of course, your biggest fan, very much looking forward to seeing how you unravel this particular knot.
I'll just check back into everybody.
Nahara, you wanted to try something as well there.
Yes. After I would suppose that I would be the next to get my to have my arm checked.
Yours, Nahara, is also not in your arm. It is almost right in the center of your chest, just above your collarbone.
Would you mind?
Yes, of course. Yes, as mentioned, I am a professional, and there's certainly no issue at all. So, yes, I can do that. Yes.
I'm gonna need some help giving up the table.
Or help.
I shoved Tatiana on the floor.
Craig, very much
Boom,
like he's
thank
like,
you,
oh no,
Finn.
put shirt back on, lady. No, it must be
They're
gentlemen.
Craig,
It's
come on.
not
you've
a big deal.
it's-
Come on.
no, but consent is important. You have been drinking, and I want to make sure that you're safe in my medical establishment.
I'll help
I am
Tatiana,
like a statue in a
dress
museum. Look upon me.
wrap something around Tatiana.
If that counts, that it is, yes, most impressive. Okay, yes. Sorry, holy man. Is there? I help you, holy man. You're okay. You look pale. You might be
fine.
going into shock. Are you sure that you're prepared to do what you must do?
Yes, I should be fine.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm perfectly fine.
Uriah,
Yes.
you want me to do it?
I have alcohol of less strength, to keep hands steady, keep nerves calm if you want.
I am fine. Ezra is with me. All right. Shall we? Medicine roll, I assume?
Medicine roll.
And Fen is just like, why did we come back here?
First one is a 24.
You are able to remove it easily. And with a 24 medicine roll, you realize something strange. Nahara's flesh is not healed around it at all, where yours had grown completely around it, and it had almost become like a part of you. For hers, it is almost like it was just like in a pocket with skin over it, that her body made no effort to reacclimate.
Yes, of course. I mean, I suspect it has something to do with your unique physiology, but here's the question. You apparently are not in your original body, yes? So if these things have been in us for 20 years, one would assume that yours would be back in Falkovnia, yeah? But it's not, it's here. So a further mystery to unravel.
Very strange. Has it been... There was scar tissue around you, so it's been in me for 20 years?
Well, it's been in me for 20 years. Perhaps yours, in fact, almost definitely yours, is of much more recent vintage, since we suspect your body is of more recent vintage as well.
As Brother Uriah is saying this and he's holding in his hand, I'm going to take his hand and just put my hand over his and the device. And And I would like to try using knowledge from a past life.
Excellent. Perfect. Roll for me either just an intelligence check or a wisdom check, whichever is higher, and add another d6 to that.
Okay. 20.
As you touch this thing, Nahara, for a moment there, you get that falling feeling and you're being chased and pursued. That sensation that you get every night as you are plummeting down and you're surrounded by falling water, like it is raining or a waterfall or something, as you're plunging headlong, and then you feel yourself lying on wet soil. It is muddy, and you hear boots approaching, very heavy footfalls, and you hear, "Oh, looks like we got a fresh one here. Has left her laying about. That's a tragedy. I'm sure we could find something to make use of these parts, though." And then you hear that mind blast sound that you've heard multiple times, and in cracking and crunching of skulls. And then you feel yourself turned over. You no longer feel the wet ground. You feel the cold rain on your face, and something is standing over you, something tall and in a robe. And it pulls out a very long knife and leans down towards you, and you're back.
Are you all right? Nahara? Are you in pain? Are you injured?
Here, drink this.
No. What is... Oh, God, no. No, thank you.
Nothing living should be drinking that technically, but...
The more you drink it, the more you like it.
It is true. It's an acquired taste.
Also,
I
you're
think-
using the term living a little loosely.
Yes, Nahara.
I think that I had died, and then something had placed that in me. I felt that mind, similar to when Stewart had done something similar. You feel it. I felt that pain, and
Yes.
I was...
It's all right. It's all right. I fear I must point out that we have now discovered 3 of these in individuals who reside here in these lands, and from at least one who came from beyond. It's likely that you other 3 all have these devices as well.
All right. Run.
All right. So, if you will consent to an examination, of course, we may
Go for
begin.
it.
Yes, you have quite a few scars as well. This took quite a while with Tatiana. I'll see what I can do. Medicine roll.
Mm-hmm.
And is this with advantage?
Yes.
Okay, the first one is 18. Second one is dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Desmond's is in his ear.
Oh. Inside the ear or in the cut?
Yeah, inside of his ear. Inside the ear canal.
Do I think I can extract it without endangering his hearing, or?
Yes, you have to be careful about it, but yes, you could.
Desmond, yours appears to have been placed inside your ear canal.
That's interesting.
Is it beneath the skin inside his ear canal. I still will have to make an incision. Yes, this will be.
Yeah, it's not just like in there, like pull out a quarter. Yes, it is under the skin in his ear. Yes.
So this will be tricky. I'm going to use guidance on myself, essentially pray to Ezra for guidance to give me that bonus on the roll.
Yes, Desmond.
Out of principle, I would very much like to cure wounds on myself before he does this.
Got it.
I don't want to take chances on like getting bodied real quick. Like, so there it is. Cool. Thank you.
Oh yes, you're still injured.
Yes, you notice some of the marks and scratches, and you notice that Craig has begun applying bandages and treatments to the rest of you, because again, many of you are grievously injured from Forlorn. And what did you get there, Brother Uriah?
So this will be with advantage, and then the guidance on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so. I'm going to take the 21 and then add another D4 on there.
Mm-hmm.
So that will actually bring it to 24.
The one that you pull out of Desmond is different than the others. The overall make of it is the same, but you get the distinct impression that it stretches, that it physically can be extended.
Ingenious. I believe this one has been designed to accommodate for your lycanthropic transformations.
So whoever made these and implanted them in us knows us very well.
Yes. Yes, well, there's a good chance they've been observing us for quite some time.
Well, you said yours was in your arm for 20 years.
An approximation, but that was Finn's theory, and I have to agree with her. I concur with her assessment.
Quite some time is kind. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I apologize to you. Brother Uriah, with a roll that high, you realize that it's difficult examining Desmond because, again, he definitely is scarred, but you notice a lot of the trauma is like surface deep. Like his body has apparently amazing restorative capabilities. And as such, there's definitely scar tissue around this, but it is very difficult to know how long it's been here. You can tell that like his flesh alters itself quite frequently, but it doesn't seem recent.
It's hard to say exactly how long, given your recuperative abilities, your healing factor, if you will, but I do think it's been here for quite a while.
Do you think it has something to do with where we just were? The beings that were there?
Yes, their technology is similar. When I was looking out through that thing's eyes, it was a technician, and moreover, I understood what it understood. This is the sort of thing that they use.
Finn, as you have been quietly inspecting yourself there, you also find that you have one of these devices. And it is underneath the mark you bear, underneath the mark that Isolde gave you.
And that is where on my body?
You tell me where that is on your body.
That is on her upper thigh, on the right leg.
What sort of mark is it?
It's an elven mark, one that Isolde put there when they promised each other to stay together. And it is the elven word for adoration.
You are certain that it's underneath that?
Great. Well, and since Fen is like the most dressed of the party, she's like, someone hand me a sheet.
Craig immediately comes out with like a gown for you there. He's like kind of like averts his eyes. He's like, yes, you go. You Oh, you put this on, you'll be very safe. I make sure.
Oh, I'm not worried about anyone here. I'll be safe. It's just, I need to start wearing shorts. And so I disrobe enough so Uriah can see her purple thigh.
Yes, of course.
Oh, it's just a thigh. Come on.
Yes, of course. And I am a professional. I am a medical professional.
Oh, you're right. Come now. You mean to tell me you've not seen any flesh in other reasons?
I'm doing it. I'm doing it here.
Wait, never, my friend.
I just lay down, like, frame me like one of your French girls, and I'm like...
All right.
No, when you keep saying I am a medical professional over and over, it makes it more weird, maybe?
Yeah.
All right. Yes, you're right. You're right. I'm a doctor. I'm the doctor. All right.
I mean,
Besides, it's a nice
doctor,
thigh.
right? I am doctor as well, and yes, very good muscle tone. Yes, it's most impressive. Yes.
It's a nice shapely thigh. I mean, I work out hard for this. I'd like you to admire it.
Yes, it's red beans and rice didn't miss her. I say yes. Yeah, right.
What?
No, it's
in any case,
Orcish dick. I did say it from my homeland.
That is a
I
21.
know that one as well.
21.
21 on the medicine roll.
You are able to extract it, and also without damaging her beautiful tattoo work. It is of a like that you've never seen before. You realize it is an elven mark, but even the process by which her skin has been marked is unusual. It is a silvery sheen. It is almost like moonlight has been printed onto her.
Well, I certainly do my best not to disturb that in any way. And is Fenn's device similar to our own, or more akin to Desmond's?
It is. You also realize, similar to Nahara's, there is no scar tissue around it, though. It is more like it has just been there, inserted since then, and her body didn't really acclimate to it. To be clear, Tatiana and you definitely did have that. Nahara and Finn don't, and Desmond seem to be somewhere in between. And as far as you can tell, upon inspection, Valentine doesn't have one.
That's curious.
I will lay down on the table and allow him to look anyways.
That's very, very curious. I can't seem to find anything. Or actually, I'm going to try a medicine rolls just so I know, like, for sure. Was this with advantage or
yes,
regular?
Still advantage.
Okay. So it's either a 19 or I'm going to take that 19.
Yeah, you're sure. This is the first time you've gotten up close to her scar, and you realize that what Crag said is true. It is less like something that injury that is healed and more like that she was born this way. It is like acclimated, even though it is clearly a scar on her. I'll let you tell me, Valentine. Again, she grew up a woman of means. Does Valentine have any other scars from a rough and tumble upbringing, or is she relatively pristine?
She is relatively pristine. It's really just the main scar that's across her throat. And anything that's kind of happened recently that looks fresh. She is very much not used to being injured.
But no sign of a device.
There doesn't seem to be one, Valentine.
That's odd.
Perhaps they had other means of, keeping track of you.
They
just sort of like hook a thumb towards Stewart, like.
They certainly do seem to have other methods of keeping an eye on me. Or, considering it appears all of yours have been placed at different times, maybe they just haven't gotten to mine yet. But
insight check that.
Sure, insight.
Nope.
19.
Can I contest it with deception?
Of course. Deception.
What's my
okay, but you got to beat a 26.
Oh, you're inciting it as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I accidentally closed my character sheet. It's a 21.
What was that you got, Nahara?
19.
Seems legit, Nahara, but Brother Uriah, you're like, she knows more than she's letting on.
Out of respect for Valentine's privacy, I won't say this in front of everyone. But if Valentine picks up on this, she definitely sees Brother Uriah sort of giving her a
I'll
look.
establish a telepathic link.
Hello?
Yes.
Valentine, of course, especially given what you've been through, I do not wish to pry, but are you quite sure you're telling us everything? You needn't speak in front of the others. I will keep your confidence.
You and I both know that there are many ways that whatever those things are connected and watching and maybe even to some extent controlling me. Not having a device is not surprising. They can already do whatever they want to me, Brother Uriah.
Yes, I suspected that might be the case. But you can trust the others. You can tell them. We've all seen what you've been through, and I'm sure there's not one among us who would not wish to help you.
I don't think there's one among us that can help me. But I appreciate that you're here anyways.
Yes. What I'm saying is the support of your other friends might be helpful. I think you should be open with them. Just tell them what you've told me.
And what if they turn on me?
They will not.
I don't have any control over the things that we saw or the things that happened.
No, I don't expect you to do. And, well, it seems that several of us are being manipulated, shall we say, by greater forces than us, by beings of power and means.
And that's why I trust you, Brother Uriah. I know that you understand because I've heard it. I've heard it come out of your mouth, and I understand that that is not you.
Yes, but Tatiana has certainly experienced a similar thing. Nahara, I think, has as well, given what I know.
Nahara tried to kill the one thing that's been keeping me alive. How could I possibly trust?
Admittedly, she was a bit confused during that particular battle. I don't think she quite intended to do what she did, but nevertheless, I think you can trust the others.
I do trust the others.
We've been very silent and staring at each other for a long time. I think they know we're talking, so we should probably just tell them now.
Mm-hmm.
Just
if you look over, we're all just looking at both of you quietly.
Doctor-patient privilege, all right, everybody?
Well, Fen is still laid out on this table like Draw Me One of Your French Girls, enjoying a moment of quiet.
No, I do not have one of the devices. But I'm sure by what everyone saw, it's very apparent they don't need one to track me.
So wait, these devices were put in us so we could be tracked, but before some of us even met you?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know that it has anything to do with meeting me.
How did the mind flayers know that you... Well, of course it has everything to do with meeting you.
Aren't you one of them?
Back.
Do I look like one of them?
It's hard to tell, being as what we experienced, that there's some connection with you. I wouldn't say you are an illithid or a mind flayer, obviously.
Then what is your question?
If you are connected to them in some way because of your mind abilities.
Yes, it does appear that in some way I am connected to them. That does not make me one of them.
I think these things had a plan for you, Valentine, a very far-reaching plan laid long in advance, and we all seem to be part of it. That is not to say that we're not being used by other forces for their own individual long-reaching plans. It seems we're caught in a bit of a web of those.
It's like we have no free will. I mean, of course I want to be your friend and it would have happened, but now it's like something new before we knew that we would be here. It's too much.
That does sound like a lot. And over by the tent entrance, you see a beautiful woman with golden red kinky hair, wearing a gorgeous green gown that you, Desmond, immediately recognize as Rose. She is holding a flagon in one hand and multiple long stem glasses in the other. And she's like, do you all mind if we raise a cup together? I think there is much we have to discuss.
Wait, I know you. You're the barbecue lady.
That is a good place for us to take a little break. So we're going to do a quick 10. Don't go anywhere. Thankfully, and specifically thanks to Desmond, I am ready with the list of patrons. I super wasn't, so thank you, DJ. Again, these are our Dark Lords of the Dread Domains patrons. Thank you so much for your support. You all literally make it possible to do what we do. Aaron Duran, Alan Zozo, Aurelia Rolfe, Brian Dwyer, a.k.a. Nightsfall, Brian Kepi, Chris Smoot, Christopher Zednick, Craig Savage, David Bonney, D. Nicole, Donald Scott Massey, Ducati, Philippe C., Forrest S. Moore, Graffumbly, Grizzled Viking, Hell Knight Games, Josh Alun, Just Link, Kira Snow, Michael Skidmore, Mr. Albert, Nathan Crowder, Nick Bernard, Nicholas Ramirez, Packery 101, Project Wolf Bear, Reese, Rob Bacon Golem, Tremarco, Ronan Monkey, Rum Soaked Chicken, Sin 7, Sip Happens, to Queen Bee, to Nuckin Futz, Jason and Kyle Chestnut, I love that name, Thomas, Tracer Vision, and Woody Hairless One, and Zort 1. That is a very long list, and we love to see it. Thank you all so much for it. And while I'm giving you a small interstitial before we go to break, I'd just like to point out that next week we will have a very special session in celebration of Mr. Mark Mear's birthday. So, not gonna tell you what it's gonna be, but we're gonna do something different next week. You have to tune in to see what it is. But for now, quick 10, and we'll be right back. Nika, as you wander barbecue lady. I guess, yes. I didn't bring you another plate from Rivalus this time. I didn't understand that I would be seeing you today. I did, however, bring a little something from the old family vineyards, and she shows you the bottle, Valentine. And it's true. It is a bottle from your family's vineyard.
Where did you get that?
Pull some strings, called in some favors. Thought you might like a taste of home.
Why do you know where home is?
I mean, that's what I do. I know things. I wouldn't be any use to anyone if I wasn't aware of the... Oh, right. Desmond, Brother Uriah, did you tell them that we had a lovely...
Yes, we had mentioned your previous visitation.
Tatiana got to taste the deliciousness that unfortunately Brother Uriah didn't. I thought it was awesome, but also not everybody knows you, Rose. Could you please, outside of me doing it, everybody, this is Rose, but please tell them a little bit more about yourself, because I actually haven't gotten a lot outside of things as well.
You all, I think you're all catching on to how things work in the mist here. And she does put the glasses down and she says, before I break the seal on this, because it is quite valuable and difficult to come by, is anyone going to have any? Because if not, I will keep it for something I can barter somewhere down the line.
I'm fine.
I
thank
don't
you.
drink. Literally.
What?
I
Liquids are
trust
not
you.
my
I'll have
thing.
some.
See,
I want to know more about who you are before I drink with you.
she does pop the cork and she pours 2 glasses, Desmond, and it is a very a thick, sweet red. And she slides one to you and she picks it up and puts the bottle down on a nearby end table, and she sits down and she says, ooh, how do I even begin to describe me? Well, I'm Rose. I spend a good amount of time at the Carnival. I realize you probably haven't seen me before now, Finn. I kind of try and stay out of the way, unless something needs me to step into the light for the moment, I suppose. And I realize you all have been through so much. In fact, if I may, she holds her hands out and you all feel a warm glow roll off of her and you all heal 35 points of damage.
She healed more HP than I have.
Right.
Wounds and injuries just begin to close up there right in front of you. Even the surgical marks and things all heal up. Yes, Tatiana.
I had actually not taken damage in our previous battle, so maybe it sobers me up a bit.
If you wish to have your, and you kind of honestly, Tatiana, you sort of understand instinctively that you can kind of go into the light and snap out of the haze if you want to.
I do. I stand. I put my shirt back on, and I say, excellent ribs, as I grab the bottle from the table and pour myself a glass.
It's
Aren't they though?
she's like, again, that's on me. I didn't have time to go to Rivalus this time, but maybe next time. I will have a proper spread. I understand the muffin thing. They told me about the muffin thing, so I get why you all were wary, but I wouldn't tease with someone's food. Is that a Taroka deck?
This?
Yes.
Yes. How did you know what a Taroka deck is? Did an old lady come into your closet?
There
Never
was
mind.
an old...
No, there wasn't.
Actually, she came out of the closet, or was it a wardrobe? When we were in...
A
was a
wardrobe.
wardrobe.
Yes.
It was a wardrobe. Yes.
Right. Well,
But that's Neither here nor there.
No. Sorry, Finn. Apologies for the confusion. No, I literally emerged from a wardrobe. I came out of the closet. I don't know that I was ever in the closet. But yes,
I said
I'm not
I said
spicy.
a closet. I said a closet.
that is
No.
you did say a closet. That is
I absolutely meant it in the literal sense and not the
It's-
metaphorical sense.
I also literally emerged from a wardrobe when you all were in the house. You all were sleeping. Well, you weren't, and you weren't. She points at you, Valentine. She says you were surrounded by candles, snoring loudly. In fact, why were they? They were very worried about you, Tatiana. That one's Tatiana, right, Desmond?
Yes.
Worried about you being in the dark or something?
Well, dark light. It's more about perspective of where the light is coming from and whether my shadow will punch me in the face.
Oh, that's curious.
But it has not happened since we came back from House of Lament, so probably not a problem, right?
You know,
Sure.
First,
sure
probably
it's
washed off
fine.
with shower.
that is
fine.
exactly how things work here. That is. Anyhow, Nahara, yes, I would love it. Were you planning on? No, you don't have to draw from me. Whatever you were going to do.
I wasn't aware that anybody was paying attention, but there seems to have been a lot of awkward occurrences lately, and I would just like to consult the spirits that move these cards for me.
The moment she says that, you all feel a breeze, a cool breeze, sort of blows through the tent at that exact second. Well, that was dramatic. Please. And she's like, before you say, is this for you, for me, for us? What is the...
I would say it would be for our party.
A general spread. Yes, please.
Yes. But I immediately regret my decision.
What is it?
Torturer.
I definitely am for your position.
No, I'm not.
The torturer, the coming of suffering or merciless cruelty, one who is irredeemably evil or sadistic.
Yeah.
You hear a laugh off in the distance, a thick, raspy laugh that you've heard before, a laugh that you've heard come out of Uriah those times that he's been unconscious, and it was like he was being piloted by something else.
That's not funny.
Did we all hear that?
Only her with the
No.
card.
Very
And only hear me say out loud, that's not funny.
well. Sorry?
Is this about the toe thing? We don't talk about it anymore.
Oh, you
We
know
do
about
not
the
talk
toe
about
thing.
the toe thing. How
I
do
was-
you know about the toe
I
thing?
was there when he figured out the toe thing.
It was.
Oh.
What?
And yet
In
you know nothing
fairness-
about it that you can provide a little more insight on? I thought that was your whole thing. You know things.
I'm in the process of finding out that thing. Okay, Desmond, would you give them? Okay, I realize. Okay, we're just sort of jumping in here. We'd have a little background. Desmond, if you would.
Yeah, I can do that. While we were looking for the Weatherby Foxgrove sisters, we had the toe issue. Tatiana, sorry about the toe. It wasn't me, obviously, but that night when everyone rested, Brother Uriah and I stayed awake, and we had a bit of a conversation. While we were talking, Rose popped out of the wardrobe with a plate of delicious foods, and that's what Tatiana ate in the morning, and she gave us she's the one who clued us in about the toe. But so since we know about the toe, we can thank Rose for that. And also, as someone who ate the delicious foods, Brother Uriah, I am so jealous. The the foods were amazing, and I'm very jealous if that's the kind of food you ate on celebrations, because
Well,
delicious.
At halfling celebrations, Rivers actually has quite a large halfling population, and their cuisine is something else. But I think we're
Oh, I
getting
know.
off track.
I know. And thank you, Rose, again for bringing it for him, because he didn't want it, which means I got to eat half of it. Tatiana ate the other half. It was delicious. But that's the saga of Rose. Outside of the fact that when we first got to the carnival, when I was sitting watching the vampire acrobat, Rose pulled up next to me and was like, "Oh, hi, Desmond. What's your name? La 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 la." And then we had a conversation. And then again, she met me after we got back from the body ticker plant, I think it was. She kind of showed up with a flagon of liquor and was like, "You know, you should have a drink." And I said, "Well, thanks," because at the time I still didn't trust her, but I feel like the plate of food and giving us the clue kind of clued me in that maybe she doesn't hate us, and might be a good idea to trust her.
So the fill-in on Rose is that she's continually popped up right around when we get into immense danger, but we trust her because she brought food, right?
Well,
That's the gist of it.
I said I trust her because she brought
you
food,
are
but
speaking
actually, I don't. If
for
I remember
yourself.
correctly, in the carnival, I didn't really experience anything after that first meeting. Like, I personally didn't experience. I know we went through some stuff, but still, just throwing it out there. It's the carnival. If anybody would know who to trust and not, I feel like that'd be Ben. What do you think?
Excuse me, I'd just like to say, I realize it seems like my timing might be conspicuous, but it's just that you all are in danger a lot. And you're not in danger right now, and here I am.
It's just, look, I understand bribery. I deeply understand bribery. Hell, it's been most of my life. I'm great at it. So I am suspicious of anyone whose go-to instinct is bribery because, well, I wouldn't trust anyone like me.
In these lands, we just believe it is a welcome custom to arrive with a gift. I believe Nahara has a second card. Let us see what fate has to say about all of this.
All right.
First the torturer, and now...
The Raven.
Ha! Excellent. The Raven is a hidden source of information, a fortunate turn of events, a secret potential for good. And when you look at this card, she does just say, "And here I am! Will you look at that?" Ha! I did not draw that card. She drew the card. You all watched. I was over here. My hands were in plain sight.
Yes, but the torturer was drawn first, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, clearly, contextually, that is what has come before the present, and now this is going to be the future. That is how 3-card spreads work.
Well,
Past,
maybe I'm
present,
taking
and
too
future.
literally. Maybe I'm taking too literally, but there was a raven man who was watching me. I mean, he spoke to me, and he let zombies almost kill me, but he kind of helped.
You know, those feather people can be safely ignored.
They seemed quite benevolent.
Yes.
Just a lot of this. Just a lot of this. They're not... No, they're not hostile. I would not call them untrustworthy. I said they could be safely ignored.
Well, the one that we encountered didn't speak at all.
And he slowly turns his head towards, was it Brother Uriah and Nahara that were approached by one of their number in Falkovnia, was it not? That was masquerading as a scientist. Was that not you two?
Oh, I meant in the very beginning when we were at the
Yes,
crossroads.
that one there didn't say anything. That is true.
Yes,
But
but yes, the fellow in Falkovnia, he
That's true.
certainly did speak and was actually able to impersonate a Falkovnian scientist successfully.
So are they to be trusted if we should encounter one in the future?
Yes, they're mystics. They enjoy their parlor games. They enjoy seances and things of that nature. I believe you could do worse than putting your trust in them. I mean, the keepers of the feather have long since served these lands. Do you know why they exist? By the way, they don't talk about it, but they're very much anti-Count von Zarovich.
Are they?
So are we. I mean, or whatever. It's cold right down there.
Yes, you might not last long saying that out loud. His reach is further than you might expect.
Well, I guess the question remains then, madam. What is it that you want?
I just want to help.
Just help. Really?
I
You
realize
seem to be-
in the mist, nothing is as it seems. Everyone wants something. Everything is a trick. I understand. I ask no payment. I come asking you to perform no tasks. I am simply here to help grant you a little bit of perspective.
Rose. You are, as usual, perfectly timed. I had my suspicions, but once Valentine suggested, that actually led me to a question that I have been asking myself over and over since we got here. Finn, do you know or have you ever seen Rose before today?
I look at Rose and I'm going to do a history check
Have at it.
before I tell on myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm leaning toward no.
Mm-hmm.
And I get advantage on history by default.
You do.
Is it possible for me to also give Fen guidance on this roll?
It is. And also, Nahara, I believe you owe us a third card.
I do, but before I do that, as I was looking at these two and being told that the raven was a good omen, I would like to send a message to Brother Uriah and say, well, the person that we both serve found it quite amusing that I pulled the torturer card.
Person do you mean my king?
Yes.
You serve him.
Did we not talk about this?
Well, I didn't know the arrangement had been formalized.
Yes.
I see.
He's going to help me.
But you heard him?
Yes. I spoke to him.
No, but I mean just now. You said he sounded amused?
I just heard his laughter.
I see.
Like he was amused that we are to be tortured.
Aslan Rex
Strikes me
is
as-
not exactly benevolent. I suspect the suffering of others might amuse him.
But what of our suffering if we're the ones that are to aid him in his cause?
I am not sure how to interpret these cards. This is all rather new to me. But I heard nothing for what it is worth.
You didn't?
No.
Huh.
But
Odd.
then again, he speaks to me when he wishes to.
I see.
We've been staring at each other and not talking for quite a while now.
We have. I've been shuffling. I hope nobody's noticed. But third card.
Finn, you've never seen
Yes.
this face before, and she's beautiful. You'd remember her.
And I tilt my head at Rose. Other than, no, I can't even confirm it was you. When we were watching that vampire at the circus before.
Then you do recall. Yes, that was I.
Nah,
That was
if it was you, I believe you were far more interested in Desmond than any of us.
I mean, can you blame me though, Finn? I mean, come on, look at him.
Oh, he is striking to be sure, but often I don't. Well, I I feel toward Desmond as my sibling.
Well, I assure you, we are not related. But yes, that is, that was me that day. I have looked upon you all with curiosity. You are such fascinating strangers, and although I have not had the proper opportunity to make your acquaintance, Tatiana or Valentine, Desmond's fellow Outlanders, I did have the opportunity to meet with him, and then later, Brother Uriah, and now I speak with all of you. And yes, what is that third card, Nahara? Let us see what the future holds, shall we?
Horseman.
The Horseman. Death, disaster in the form of the loss of wealth or property, a horrible defeat, or the end of a bloodline.
Oh, dear.
And she does just say, oof. Oof.
That's a little too on the nose.
Quite a
And
predicament.
of whose bloodline?
Always so vague how this all works.
Yes. But one thing is clear to me, madam. You are clearly an individual of great power. You go where you wish. You appear in the House of Lament and leave it of your own free will and power.
You are a silver-tongued devil, Brother Uriah. I see why Ezra prizes you so thoroughly.
Yes. Well, the question is, again, what you want with us. We are surely beneath your station. You don't need us for anything, you say. You merely wish to help us.
You all seem to be at the center of a great many moving parts, and a great many eyes are upon you, and I find that to be fascinating. Why can so many beings of influence and power and dread and, quite frankly, ego be so preoccupied with you six? I can't puzzle it out, and so I'm trying.
I see.
So, as I said, I have come to help. I come offering information, and I ask for absolutely nothing in return. I know, that makes it seem like more of a catch, but there's no way for me to explain it any clearer.
Can I insight that?
You can.
Well, while that's happening, Fen is just like, well, there have to be better places to talk than the medical tent.
I like it here. We have our friend Kang.
You just like him because he has good alcohol.
Yeah, and I like her because she reset my clock, you know, and can start drinking like it's beginning of night again.
It's like, I like, it's good. Yeah, that. And like, he picks up one of the glasses of the wine, and you see he does shift it around and like sniff it a little bit, and he's like, this one is to be savored, not to be slammed, you know, it's a good vintage, I like. And he does drink like a proper gentleman. Both
It's the greatest vintage there ever was. She looks to Valentine.
Someone should enjoy it.
You see he looks at the two of you, and his mood like very much drops a little bit, and he goes, duh. And he looks at you, Valentine, and he does raise the glass. And you see he takes a sip like very slowly, appreciating it. It's to those who are not here, I think, huh? Yeah.
Fen pours herself half a glass. And forget, Uriah, did you take a glass, yes or no?
No, I believe I shall abstain. Thank you nonetheless.
And Fen just, you know, she turns it in the glass and keeps staring at it. And it's like, if only this was a different kind of vintage.
Maybe on my next visit, I can bring something more to your taste.
Or you are right there.
I'm working, and I never partake while I'm working. Maybe
I'd be
later.
doing the taking, but either way.
I
So
realize,
this is work to you, Rose.
but to say I might have stopped to visit the wrong companion when I stopped by that night. Perhaps we could rectify that at some point in the future. But yes, Desmond, it can be both business and pleasure.
Interesting.
What would you all like to know? Surely you must have a great many questions. Understand, I cannot tell you just absolutely everything. I am not omnipotent, far be it, though, for me to like to admit, but I will share with you what I can.
I hold up the device that Brother Uriah took out.
Mm-hmm.
Who put those in us?
She leans in and she says, looks like an Elithid make.
Yes.
Oh.
So we had surmised. Thank you for that information. And while I'm speaking to her, I raise my eyes at the grave. Is she radiating, detecting as undead?
She's not dead.
She's very warm and lovely.
Mm-hmm. And she is not dead. You do, Brother Uriah, at the very edges of your sense, you do detect undeath. There is something undead at the carnival.
Besides my three companions?
Yeah, you've sort of calibrated to them. There is something that is properly dead here, at the very edges of your awareness.
I'll inform the others. Everyone, I don't mean to alarm you, and I know our guest wishes to have a word, but there's something here. Something undead. Besides the three of you, there's something, I think, near the edge of the carnival?
You do have a brain in a jar.
No, I don't think it's Stewart. I don't think it's Stewart either.
If you call it Stewart, that is adorable.
Well, I did not name him, but yes, we had to call him something.
Does it anger it if I tap on the glass?
I wouldn't do that.
Oh, well, sorry. Apologies, Stewart. Yes. Do you need to? Oh, look at you all, just always so ready to go be heroes. I love it. And she scoops up the bottle in one of the empty glasses in her glass, and she's like, "Shall we investigate then?"
If you don't mind.
You notice when you all come out of the tent, the sun has gone down. It is dark outside now.
We'd best be on our guard.
Oh, it's the carnival. No one's going to bother you here.
No, I mean, for whatever this thing is, it might be a menace to the carnival. We haven't managed to check on Hildy yet. I'm not sure where she is. She was with Ermos last time I saw her.
We should look.
I should let his souls know I'm back.
Yes, but for now, I think we should stick together, perhaps, given what I've detected.
Of course.
All right.
But I wouldn't be quick to assume that just because it's undead that it's harmful, but...
No, I did not. I just thought we should investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course.
As you all go through, and you can tell it is early evening, the carnival is still in full swing. In fact, there's a number of games that don't even start until the sun goes down. Usually the ones that involve greater amounts of alcohol or particularly body type things. Like it shifts away from family entertainment to a different kind of experience after sundown. And as you all are making your way through, there is a large tree right in the middle of the carnival that was not there before. Again, you've established that it has moved, so apparently they put down stakes near it, and whatever is dead is up in the tree, Brother Uriah.
It's up there. Can I, I can know exactly where it is with my eyes of the grave. Can I?
Yeah.
I won't be able to, even if I can't see in the dark, I know its distance and where it is.
You are aware near the top of the tree.
Tatiana should be able to float up, right? Are you able to get that kind of distance?
Can I get distance? I cast levitate.
Yeah.
We could just fly up there.
easily float upwards. Tatiana, give me a perception check.
I'd like to make a telepathic link with Tatiana while she goes up to look, and I'd like to describe to her what the body that I found at the edge of the carnival looks like, to ask if it looks like that one.
Okay. Tatiana?
11. Did it have a face and eyes?
It's hard to tell, Tatiana. It's just a big, thick tree.
I see you. I see you in the tree. I don't see it. I don't see it.
You don't see the body at all?
No.
Nahara, are you attempting to fly up as well?
Sure.
You can give me a perception check as well, then.
Okay.
No, this tree is about about 30 feet tall. It is not an anomalously large tree. It's just a big tree, basically.
If I can see to the top, if I'd normally be able to see to the top of the tree, I shall put on the glasses that I got on the train and see if I can, using that and my eyes of the grave, I should be able to penetrate darkness and magical darkness.
Give me a perception check. And yes, Nahara.
With giving myself guidance, because I just remembered I have that, I have a 23.
Give me your perception as well, Brother Uriah.
That's a 10, even with guidance. It's going to be
It is, you feel like it is not magical darkness. It's just thick branches and shrubbery and leaves, just naturally obscuring things. Nahara, you, however, very much can make out a hooded figure that is crouching on one of the branches.
Crouching and alive?
It's upright. It's just crouching on the branches.
I will attempt to just send it a message.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to disturb you. I couldn't help but notice you in here. Are you all right?
It doesn't say anything, Nahara, but you get a distinct feeling of caution. Like you get from it caution. It's very wary.
I won't harm you. I just noticed you here. Are you all right? Will you can speak to me. I'm not, I promise I won't harm you.
You see the hood is over it and like the head kind of tilts, but it doesn't say anything. You just still get this feeling very much of caution. You're 100% clear that's how it feels. It doesn't feel aggressive and it doesn't feel cornered, but it is very wary of you.
I'm still floating. Can I speak with animals?
You can.
Great. I would like to say, see any good worms lately?
A squirrel pokes its head up and is like, why are all these people up in my tree all of a sudden?
Pardon us. We're not trying to disturb you. We won't take your nuts.
Well, you're doing a very bad job of trying not to disturb me, ma'am.
Wow, you talk quickly. You must be very smart, squirrel. Is there a strange creature that is perching on the branch of your tree?
Yeah, that bad-smelling man that's up there.
Oh, so it's his man, you think?
I didn't want to get too close to it. That's an easy way to get snatched up and become somebody else's supper, you know?
Right. Oh, the whole time everyone's just hearing... This tree, did it just grow here today, or how did it get to this place?
Ma'am, you do not have to insult my intelligence. I realize I am a squirrel, but trees don't grow overnight. 5 generations of my family have lived in this tree.
Yeah, okay, but did it exist in this place?
Is there where you come from? Do trees move? Is that a thing that happens?
I don't come from here, and everything I've seen so far tells me do not make any preconceived notions. You understand me, Squirrel?
That is very valid. However, it has been a great day for me and my children here, because as this strange human kerfluffle has rolled in, there's been all manner of food that has been dropped. Are you aware of something known as a French fry? We have discovered that today. Apparently there are potatoes that the humans do something to that makes them magical. Also, there is a number of boiled peanuts. We were not aware of boiling. Well, we were aware that we could be boiled. We generally avoided it, but apparently if you do it to peanuts, they're even better.
So this thing eats regular food, doesn't eat other people. Is good.
No, I don't know what that thing eats. I'm talking about those ones down there.
Oh, right. All right. You think you're so smart, Squirrel, but you don't even know when your tree moves dimensions or something. You just hear me more angrily.
You have blown his mind with the existential awareness of the possibility of multiple dimensions. Yeah, right. Yes, Nahara.
Might I try to persuade this person in the tree
Sure. What are you trying to persuade them to do?
to speak to me?
Give me persuasion.
Because I've tried to say that it's all right. 21.
You feel like it is calming down and it is less wary, but it still doesn't say anything. Give me an insight check.
Is it too late to give myself guidance?
It is, because you've rolled it now. Yes. Yeah, you're certain it's communicating with you. You're getting these feelings from it, but it's not saying anything. In the meantime, down on the ground, what are the rest of you doing?
Nahara, is everything all right up there? Tatiana?
This squirrel is not negotiating or giving any good information.
Why are you talking to a squirrel? What?
You hear a very animated... It's the squirrel's like pleading on the branch, like, what are you talking about? I've answered every question that you've got. You like blue behemoth flew up to the top of my tree in the middle of the night, waking me up, and I mean, all I told you was I even gave you a hot tip about a French fry that I didn't know. Nobody told me that, and I was just thinking maybe that's something that you could make actionable use of. But no, I'm the jerk. Oh, okay, great.
I'm hearing. I'm hearing.
I said that in English.
There's just a lot of chittering.
Can I send a message to Uriah? Because I don't want to, and I tell him, like, I don't want to alarm the person that's up in this tree. They just seem to be very weary, and I've explained to them that I'm not out to harm them.
There's a person up there.
Yes, there's a person up here.
That person right at the top.
Yes.
Is this where I'm detecting the undead from?
1,000%.
Yes, I believe the person you're speaking to is undead, and as we've established, that does not necessarily mean anything. I mean, here in these lands, it's often a bad sign. I'll level with you, but do they seem intelligent, willing to communicate?
Well, they haven't communicated with me thus far. I've been able to detect that are quite weary of my presence, and I've let them know that I'm not out to harm them. And they seem to have calmed down a bit, but haven't said anything as of yet. I just don't want, I didn't say this out loud because I don't want to alarm this person.
Right. Are you
no
sure
need for hostility if it's not necessary, you know.
Yes. Are you sure it's a person?
I'm not sure. Not sure yet.
Okay.
But, don't want to alarm or frighten or cause any sort of altercation that is unnecessary.
Well, perhaps those of us on the ground...
We've been through a lot.
Should we back up from the tree?
Possibly.
All right, I'll do that.
As Uriah starts backing away, Finn and Desmond, you who are on the ground, what are you two doing?
We should perhaps step back a bit. I just was speaking to Nahara. If we give it a little space, I think.
You are muted, Finn.
Give what a little space?
The tree. There's something up the tree. It's what I detected. It's well, whoever it is, they appear to be undead.
Oh. Do you think they would talk to someone else who's undead?
Well, I think Nahara's giving it a go, and Tatiana's there as well. I'm not quite sure what to do. She says she doesn't want to upset them, so they do something rash.
Well, all right. I'm going to just step back and kind of look up where I think the thing is and observe.
Valentine, you get an overwhelming sensation of concern and protectiveness.
Over the thing in the tree?
It just comes, you feel it. You just feel it come over you. Like
I can't feel what I am protective of.
No, it's a sensation that you're getting from something else. Something else feels protective.
Understood. Can I, when looking up, see at all the thing that Nahara has spotted in the tree?
Give me perception with advantage.
With advantage, yes, please. The higher of the two is a 17.
You feel like you can feel like you can make out an outline. Like if she's right there and she's like, no, there's a person here. And you're like, I mean, that looks kind of roughly people shaped.
Is it possible for me to make a telepathic link with it? I know
it is.
Nahara can from that.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to try and just say, hello?
You get back just a tidal wave of sensations, of joy that you distinctly feel is joy that you're talking to it, of very extreme protectiveness, and of shame, all in equal parts, all at once. It's just, and it's completely wordless. It is just sensations bombard you, and hunger more than anything.
Is Tatiana still all the way up in the tree?
She's up near the top, but she's arguing with a squirrel right now.
Tatiana, I understand that you've made acquaintance with a squirrel, and telepathic. Be careful up there. Something you're up there with is familiar, and familiar is dangerous.
Noted, thank you. And I will continue my conversation from 15 feet further back.
The squirrel by this point is very much letting you in on all the secrets, where it's like, so here's really what you got to do. You just come nearby and you flash him the eyes, right? You don't get close enough for him to touch you because the small humans are treacherous. They'll try and grab you and grab your fluffy tail. But no, if you just give them very much the cute look, they will throw things at you. They have a thing they do with corn that makes the corn pop.
Your tail is very fluffy. I could see why they might want to.
Hands to yourself, hands to yourself. But yes, and he very much starts like grooming his squirrel tail there. He's like, perhaps we could arrange a barter system if you were to bring me some of this popped corn.
Okay. I'll bring you popped corn. You bring me information of things that change around this tree.
Sold! We have an accord. I would shake your hand, but you cannot be trusted. Do not touch me. But yes, I absolutely will do this.
All right. Well, I'll spit on your paw.
I don't know how that's preferable, but is that how you seal pacts where you come from?
Yes.
Let me just like spit on the branch. We have an accord. I will be, and not only that, you will not have just my eyes, you will have all of the squirrel's eyes. And let me tell you, we don't miss much.
Tatiana would like to levitate sneakily over to the popcorn stands. She doesn't want to actually buy it. She's just going to grab a container when someone's turned the other way. While levitating.
Perfect. You float down and yoink some popcorn and come back up. Yes. In the meantime, while Finn is looking up and Brother Uriah has stepped back, what is Desmond doing during all of this?
Desmond's just watching, just entranced by the fact that so many people are on the top of a tree trying to figure out what's in it. And just like smelling the air to see if he can smell anything out of sorts as to why everybody would be up there being so focused.
After a moment, you hear, "Emma Wagwan!"
Eremos.
And you all hear the thunderous steps of Eremos with Hildy sitting on his shoulder. She was very lean when she came in, malnourished when she came here from Falkovnia. She is filled out completely and is glowing with life. She is a very well-fed little girl now, still sitting up on his shoulder wearing a horned helmet. And she's like, hello everyone, hello.
Hildy, you're
Hello,
well,
Hildy.
you look wonderful.
Danka, Brothers Uriah. Hello, Nahara. Hello, Valentine. Hello, Desmond. Hello, Finn. Tatiana. Is Tatiana flying?
Amos, you might want to bring Hildy back from the tree a little bit.
Why?
Yes.
What's going on? She likes to climb in a tree, you know.
No, she shouldn't climb in that one. Could you bend down here for just a moment? There's something in the tree, and we don't want to upset it. But,
you want me to like grab up in there and get a hold of the thing for you?
No. That will upset it, I think. Moreover, it is undead.
So it's an undead thing in the tree, and you don't want me to come pull it out there. You don't want me to yank on it.
Well, your services might be required momentarily, but
please do not pull it out of the tree.
We're trying to employ diplomacy at this stage.
Yeah, but I don't think it's dangerous.
He takes Hildy off his shoulder and he says, "You're some strange visitors to the carnival, but we've been told to give you the run of the place, so I won't interfere and cause any vexation if you don't want me to." But after he takes Hildy off his shoulder, he does kind of pat the big mallet that ostensibly is for the strongman demonstrations, but you all know is a very capable war maul on his back. And he's like, "What can I do to be of some assistance?"
I think we'll hang back for a moment, and then hopefully negotiations can commence.
I really don't think this person means us any harm.
Is this a message or?
No, I say this out loud, but I say it like in a very calm tone.
Oh, well, that's very good to hear. Perhaps you could get them to come down out of the tree.
Well, I've been trying, but can't force these things.
Why can't we just leave them be? They're not harming anyone. They're sitting in a tree. I don't see any reason to insist they interact with us.
Exactly. I just wanted to express that we were not out to harm this person.
Yes, but I think Isolde would probably like to know if something undead is creeping around her domain, yes?
I do not serve Isolde.
And, well, I suppose not, but you are here at the boss lady's pleasure, but that's all right. It's all right. I mean, if it's not harming anybody and you think it's not dangerous, I'll keep an eye on the tree myself and just make sure that, nothing unfortunate were to happen around here.
Yes.
Yes.
As long as no one gets harmed.
I've had Stewart since I pulled him off of Tatiana's back. I would like to just kind of try and speak to it telepathically and just say, Is this one of the people you were referring to?
Yes, it is one of the specimens. The other 3 have been dispatched as you requested, but one always remains.
I need it not be so easily found.
We believed it was hidden quite effectively. We were not aware of the Holy Man's capabilities.
And just to absolutely confirm, it means no one here any harm, right? No one at the carnival, no one in our group.
The specimen must feed. Do you wish it to depart the carnival when it must do so?
Yes, I wish it to depart the carnival to feed. It will only draw attention to me.
Then it will harm none that do not attempt to harm you.
Understood.
Valentine, you've been staring at Stewart's jaw for some time now.
Yes, I have. I was checking in to see if Stewart knew anything about the creature.
How would you say his mood is? Is he sort of peevish? Is he a bit angry? Does he seem relatively calm?
Stewart?
Yes.
He is level-headed as always.
Ah, good. That's good.
And Fen is just like, you act as if Isolde would know what's happening in her carnival.
Yes, I suspect she might already know.
Yes.
Still, we had to make sure no one was going to be harmed. If whoever this is willing to leave everyone in peace, I suppose we could do the same.
Well, it wasn't a tree by itself until we bothered it.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I must admit, I would not have thought that I would be of the opinion that something undead in a tree should be left in peace, but, well, I suppose the last few months have taught me much.
Eremos leans down and he's like, that reminds me, we ain't had time to just raise a cup together. How about I have some food, some good food brought out, and we all can catch up a little bit, and we can talk with dear Hildy here as well, huh?
Yes, that would be lovely.
Sure.
I just kind
And
of float down.
Here, with the very welcome opportunity to have, hopefully, a trustworthy home-cooked meal and a good night's sleep, is a good place for us to stop, because somewhere else, very far away, a very different conversation is taking place. Nika, as you wander forlorn cobblestone streets that are starting to become sadly familiar to you, a presence forms nearby, and in a nearby alleyway, your eyes fall upon a terrible sight. What does she see over there?
A figure in the raiment of a king. Upon its brow, a crown of corroded iron. The face withered in the manner of the ancient dead. Eyes which stare from hollow sockets, gazing directly into yours. Ah, Veronica, we meet at last.
It seems you have the advantage, sir. You know my name. But who are you?
I have been many things in my time. King, a ruler, but now a wanderer and a seeker. And I seek you. I am Azalin Rex.
She'll extend out her hand. I am Voronika Boniga Paslana Prstayanka. You can call me Lady Voronika.
The hand is taken and pressed to dry, dead lips. It is my great pleasure to make your acquaintance, dear lady. My sorrows for your troubles.
What do you know of my troubles?
I know that they are manifold.
That is a quick way of putting it.
You
I find it...
Yes.
Oh, I just find it very curious. It's suddenly all these creatures, these people start seeking me out that I've never heard of before. What brings you to me?
Then I am not your first visitor.
No, you are definitely not my first.
I thought not. Von Zarevich, he has been here to see you.
You are a very sharp one, aren't you?
And others?
Perhaps. Things get a little hazy around here.
Of course. Tell me, do you know of your state? Do you know where you find yourself?
I know that I am dead. I know that I am a ghost. Which feels ridiculous to say. But if you're so smart, you tell me, where am I?
Ghost. It is an inelegant term. Suffice it to say that you have been freed from the confines of your mortal shell. As to where you are, you currently dwell in Mordant, land of specters and shadows.
Well, for now. Though quite frankly, I'm not one who is so eager to shed my mortal coil.
What's done is done, but perhaps it can be undone.
And you think you are the first to come with such an offer?
Surely not. But I am one of the few who could actually help.
Let's say I'm willing to concur. What is it you want?
Many things. But from you, information.
Well, perhaps we should start having a discussion then.
Let us. You hail from Koshma. Is that correct?
Considering you know my name, you know very well that yes, Koshmar is my land.
It is a land I had an interest in. A land I sent an agent of mine. And yet, upon his arrival, he found it already in a state of disarray.
You sent Soth to my lands.
Guilty, I suppose. Though, I will say, he was not responsible for the state you find yourself in.
Oh, well, that is such a relief. At least I know who is not my killer.
No, I would not raise a hand against you. But as I say, I require information.
And here, with the revelation of who sent Soth to your lands, and who isn't responsible for your death, is a good place for us to stop.
Have you ever played the Dragon Age RPG?
Oh, goodness.